Awesome. So welcome back to another episode of Is Success Simple? Stumbled over my words there. How about that? So I'm excited to have Philippa Fischer on as a guest. So Philippa is the founder of Pace e-commerce. So Philippa, appreciate you jumping on. Thank you for your time. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me, Charlie. I'm really excited to be here and glad that you invited me on. How are you doing?
Wicked. Yeah, no, I'm good, thank you. So for the listeners, tell us a little bit about Pace e-commerce. What's it all about?
So, Pace e-commerce is a mentoring and coaching business for e-commerce stores specifically, and that
Okay.
born out of having my own e-commerce store that I built and scaled for 14 years, and I sold it 2 years ago. And I'm so sorry, my cat has snuck into the room. Oh,
It's fine. I've got four. We've got four here.
I do. Shit, the door.
Yeah,
She snuck underneath it because she's little.
that's cool. That's all right. Yeah. So you're saying this. So you sold 14 years, sold a bit, and then you now train other people to do it.
Yeah, because when I was doing e-commerce myself, I went through so many different business coaches and they were amazing, but none of them had actually done e-commerce before and none of them had done what I wanted to do. There was no sort of community or step-by-step guide for e-com. It was just this like generalized business coaching. And I just remember thinking I wanted that so much in my business. So then I created it. Sort of even when I was still
Oh,
in business, I started to create it. And yeah, it's what I needed. I've created what I needed in my
right.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, let's go right back. Talk to me about the journey of in e-commerce, because obviously e-commerce it's like, from what I see and what I hear, it's like it's the fashionable way of potentially to make really good money, but that's unless you do your due diligence and understand what it really takes. That's all it sounds like. It sounds like the dream, the myth, and
Mhm.
so forth. So, how did you get into it? I guess many years ago. How did it come about? And talk us through your journey.
Yeah, and it can be all of those things, but it's not always because it is really hard and it does take a lot to get it to that. My dad used to say to me all the time, it just took you 14 years to become an overnight success. So it
Yeah,
can be,
yeah,
it
yeah.
can be done. It's just really hard. Like it's really, really hard work in the beginning. But the reason I started was when I had my baby, I to go back to work full time and to put him into daycare full time, I was going to be $50 better off or something ridiculous like that because of, um, yeah, and then he would be in someone's care because I'd have to
Mm.
pay for daycare and then I'd have to go into work and, the extra fuel and all of those things. And I just remember thinking, I don't want somebody else bringing up my baby and spending all of that time with my baby. Like, I need to do something from home. I need to make money while I sleep. And
Yeah, yeah.
that was always the goal, was to always have a product to sell online, to have that be like an income that's just coming in and you don't have to be somewhere to do it and it's not trading time for money. So tried lots
Oh,
of products and failed at lots of different products. Like I didn't get it right the first time for sure. I think we were
okay.
selling like DVDs and jewelry and so many random things that didn't work. And my baby would, and I was a really young mother. So my baby would be crying every single night. And like I tried everything, and it was a night light that was the only thing that stopped him crying at night and kept him asleep at night because it was this beautiful color changing light that soothed him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. This is it. This is my mission, is to tell every single parent that a nightlight is the solution to the problem. And I had a
Mm-hmm.
strong drive to then go and share that with everybody else, which, now that I've kind of done a bit of research and I've had time in doing it, it's, that's the really strong thing that you need for e-com is a problem and a solution and a why.
Mm-hmm.
And all those things
Mm-hmm.
straight away that I didn't really know that that was a good thing at the time. So yeah,
Right.
then just started it from home with, I think we started with maybe $200 or $300 and then just scaled it organically and just kept growing it over time.
Wow.
Markets. I took my babies to the markets with me all the time. And then, things change so quickly. So what was working one year wouldn't work the next year. So it was this constant adaptation of what's working and constant pivoting. And
Mm.
it's just constantly changing. And, with AI now, like it's changing
I was
so much.
going to ask that. Yeah.
You've got to really
Yeah.
stick
Yeah.
with it. So yeah,
That's interesting. So how have you, through that period, how have you been able to be so adaptable?
Mostly from making expensive mistakes and then
Mhm.
going, that's not what the right thing to do. Just
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
things and lots of education and lots of
Okay.
getting in there and doing things myself to see how it works, if it works, and then
Hmm.
outsourcing it once I kind of understood it enough. So
Yeah. Okay. So
just
it's like it's
yeah,
going through that stages of bit like your business, because with the e-commerce business, from what I understand, like it's because a lot of people talk about it, don't they? It's like,
yeah,
especially if you look at YouTube and
yeah.
is it what's that guy that's famous? Is it Gadsby? What, that's his surname, isn't it? Iman Gadsby, is that his name? Guy
Oh,
on YouTube that always promotes it. Um, there's so, but like, especially in the
I know
States
who
as well. Like there's
yeah.
uh, he lives in Dubai. I can't remember his name. That's gonna bother me. But it's always I'm always hearing about it. Like you also had those two brothers from Holland as well that were quite big.
Mm,
So there's a lot of talk about it, and from what I see and what I understand, I've no experience in it whatsoever. But it's one, finding a product that you can sell. Like you're basically the middleman. You never actually create the products or build the products. You find them and then sell them as a premium. So you're literally like the middleman. Have I got that right?
that sounds more like drop shipping, and that's a little
Ah, okay. Then
different to e-commerce. So e-commerce, the
educate me.
yeah, so e-commerce, the idea is that you're actually going to the manufacturer. I use China specifically. I actually take people to China to source products at the fair
Right.
there as well. And you you have an idea for a product or you create a product, usually something that's like similar to something that's on the market, but you make it unique and different. And you work with the
Okay.
manufacturer in China, you get the shipment and you hold the stock yourself, but you're also putting your own branding on it. So therefore, every single little bit of marketing, branding, every sale you make, it's coming back to your branding and your brand. So you've got a lot more, I guess you're investing a lot more into that brand as an asset by not drop shipping.
Hmm.
Shipping's kind of, like a product with no brand on it, and you just kind of get it shipped directly from
Okay.
the manufacturer. So drop shipping is definitely talked about a lot. And those are the guys with the Lamborghinis who are
Mm.
parading around like drop shipping's the best thing in the world. Uh,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
but it's usually really hard to scale drop shipping because there's usually like only a 20% margin versus 70 to 80% margin on your own products. And,
Interesting.
you kind of can't build a brand with drop shipping, whereas if it's e-commerce and it's your own stock and your own brand and product, you you can grow it significantly. And then there's brand awareness and we know what brand awareness.
Mhm. Mm. So
Yeah.
then, what? So you built a successful business, not drop shipping, sorry, e-commerce business. You built that.
Yeah.
You then sold the business. So what made you? I guess what made you get to that point to then go, right? Do you know what? I want to exit the business that you've built and obviously built and established that brand recognition that you're referring to.
Yeah, so my plan, I always had an exit plan from day one. I was always
Okay.
building business to sell the business. So everything I did was strategically setting it up to sell. So one thing, just for example, I know is that I can't be the face of the brand and then sell it as easily. So, like in the lead
Yeah.
sale, I took myself off the social media for the product, and I really took a step back and I automated as much as I could. So I created this engine of a business that was basically running without me on autopilot. Everything was automated. I think I was doing maybe 5 hours a week to keep it running. And that was
Nice.
what that's what 14 years of building a business does, is it just starts to really tick over. And yeah, so I always had an exit plan, and I just really found that I loved coaching and mentoring so much. Like I felt really passionate about that. And I sort of got to the point where I couldn't realize I couldn't really do two or do them both well. I was giving them both like half my energy.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
I decided like, okay, it's time. This is what I want to pursue. I want to pursue coaching now. And I also would really like to start another ecom brand from scratch and do it 10 times faster this time, because now I know what I'm doing. So I almost felt like that was a chapter and I was ready to move on from it. And that was
Right.
sort of the motivation as well.
Yeah. So then going into that next phase, what was some of the challenges or not maybe, yeah, some of the challenges that you faced um, maybe mentally to go into that next phase? Like, was there any, because obviously there's when you've done it really well, you've succeeded, but then coaching and teaching someone else to do it's completely different, isn't it?
Mm.
So how did you get over that and what sort of challenges did you face and maybe internally before stepping into the role that you have done?
I think it's really hard mentally when you've done something for so long and then you're stepping into something new, and it's a new challenge, and I guess I think with service based it's easy to not be clear on what you're doing as well. And
Mm,
with a product, it's a product. It's the same thing. It's duplicated.
yeah.
Service is a bit more, I guess, it's about you, and you're selling yourself really, and it's not about the product anymore. So there was a definitely a challenge in the transition from selling a physical product to selling a service, which was me. And
Mm.
I don't know, a product, it it does the thing that it says that it does every time. There's no
It's
human
it's
error to the
it's
product.
this it's tangible. It's
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? A product's
yeah,
tangible. There's evidence. Like
yeah,
when, like you said, in terms of a service, it's how do you measure it unless you've done
yeah.
it?
Yeah, and there's different pricing. There's no real benchmark. It's like you can kind of
Yeah.
do what you want, charge what you want. There's so much more to it. So there's a there was a big challenge going from product to service, but also going from like my e-commerce business. I was so clear on everything. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was trying to achieve, what was my messaging. Like everything was so clear to me that it was
Mm-hmm.
easy to forge forward really like purposefully and ambitiously, if that's a word.
Mm-hmm.
But then like going into a service-based business and not really knowing and trusting what I'm doing is right. And I had these
Yeah.
moments like maybe I should do that instead, or maybe, and I sort of went through a few different ideas of what my business was going to be, and I tried different
Okay.
things and it didn't work, and then I've come full circle back to the coaching. Like, I tried to be an SEO agency at one point, and then I realized that's actually not what I wanna do. So there was up until probably 6 months ago, there was no clear vision or, I guess,
Really?
trust in what I was doing. Yeah.
Because the business has been, what, it's 4.5 years, or coming
Yeah.
up to 4.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really interesting to hear that. So for that period of time, like they were, you're saying in the last 6 months, you finally narrowed down on
Yeah.
the vision.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow. Talk to us about that, because like that's is one, for me, it's really interesting to hear that. But the second part, it's how did you continue going through that and being able to sustain? Because as you know, most of businesses, for the first 2 years, I think it's like 80-90% of businesses fail in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did you do that?
Well, so I look back at my business plan from 2021 and it's exactly what I'm doing now. So I started
Yeah.
doing what I wanted to do, and then I second guessed myself.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think people got in my head. I was taking advice and actually taking that as gospel and going, okay, I'm doing the wrong thing. I should be doing something else. And
Uh-huh.
that's a big lesson for me too, is like actually take a step back and listen to what I want and not take on board so much what other people are telling me I should and shouldn't do. But I think
Yeah.
because I've gone into service based and that is new for me, that's something that I'm still trying to, like, I was still trying to figure out. And then I, yeah, I always like had my one on one coaching clients that never went away. So I was constantly still doing that in the background, but then trying to pivot into something else. And I
Uh,
like I've been in business for so long and I have met so many people along the way, and I've done a lot of mentoring for businesses like through the university and through the government programs
so that.
as a mentor. So I always
Mm,
had someone who was willing to give me a go with my new direction.
great.
Yeah. So that's how it
And
sustained, because I was always constantly getting clients in,
mm,
but
it's
it was just a bit
yeah.
messy.
I think it's fascinating because like it's and I'd love for you to talk more about, in terms of, what would you, from a mindset point of view, like what some of the key things that you notice that people struggle with, that you also have gone through,
Mm.
when it comes to starting a business and going through that process.
I think the you don't know what you don't know. So unless you educate yourself constantly and you get the right, I think you always need to have some kind of mentor or business coach who's done what you want to do. I think that's a
Okay.
really key part of, moving forward faster. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think a lot of people struggle with, they don't know it or it's new, so therefore they might procrastinate or not trust themselves to actually take the next step. It's scary, and a lot of
Mm,
owners don't know how to keep moving forward, or they might, try and make sure something's really perfect before they do it rather than just taking action.
mm,
And that's what
mm-hmm.
people is like, but it's got to be better, or it's got to be look better or be better before I actually do anything with it. But a big lesson for me is like action is better than perfection. You
Yeah.
have to take a step. You just have to do something. It doesn't even matter
Mm-hmm.
if you're fully clear on it or not. You just have to,
Why is that so important, do you think?
otherwise you never start. Like, otherwise you are putting it off. to either launch the thing or open the business or launch the website because it's not exactly how
Mhm.
you want it. And then
Yeah.
you end up doing nothing, and you're not allowing yourself to even make mistakes to then correct. So I think there's
Mhm.
a lot of wisdom in making mistakes,
Mm.
allowing
It's
yourself.
one of my favorite quotes is "Fail early, fail forward, fail often."
Yes, me too. I think that's so,
Mm.
so true, because how can you know what to do better if you don't fail and then learn from it? I think it's also really important to
Yeah.
actually be able to reflect on on the thing that didn't work and then see what you can do better and learn from it.
Mm. Yeah, no, I fully agree. I always say to people I'm training, especially from a sales point of view, I'm like, fuck up as quick as possible. Like, honestly,
Yes.
just
I love that.
because like you just learn from it because there's two parts of it. One, as our ego gets hurt. So we go, I don't want to ever feel like that again. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I don't feel like that again, whether it's a question that I didn't know the answer to, or it was an objection that stumped me, or whatever it is. And you know that it's the interesting thing, isn't it? Like mentally, like we get in our own way so much,
Yes.
like regardless at the start, the middle, the end, and it's I wonder from your end what in terms of what you how you're mentoring and how that your business helps founders, obviously in terms of what stage they're at, but what's one of the biggest things that you focus on if someone comes to you and goes that I really want to start an e-commerce business, what's the
Mhm.
first thing that you would focus on?
Uh, making sure that they know what, first and foremost, like what's the problem that they're solving with the product that they have the idea to do, and then just continuously educating them on what the next steps are. So sort of like,
Okay.
this is what we need to do next. So I'll just hold your hand while I teach you how to.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
like just not doing things for them, but giving them the roadmap, I guess, to do it. And I think then what I found is as long as you can kind of give them that roadmap and go, it's okay, this is the next step and this is what to expect. And then I think, just for example, like dealing with the Chinese manufacturers for the first time for anybody is very overwhelming because there's so much like
Yeah.
logistics, ordering, language barrier, like it's very, very overwhelming.
Mm,
So just kind of going like, this is what's going to happen next, and it's normal. Here's what to expect. Like just kind of guiding them through the next steps. And then I find sometimes they'll go, oh, this is, it's too hard. Like maybe I shouldn't do it. And I just sort of have to then say, it's okay. This is what it's going to look like. And this is what you can expect. And just
okay.
keep moving forward. It's fine.
How do you
It's
think
on
that
you.
helps? How do you think that helps them?
I think just having someone who's done it before to kind of go, this is what is to be expected. This is normal.
Mm,
This is okay. Everything you're doing is moving you in the right direction. And it's, we get anxious as humans when we don't know, when we're like out of control of what's going to happen. So having some kind of
mhm.
idea of like what's next or what to expect, it really
Yep.
eases people's anxiety a lot.
Yeah, I think yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's the same when someone goes to you, for example, that I've got bad news. I've got bad news to tell you. What happens in our body is that we prepare or we start thinking about the worst case
Yes.
scenario
Yeah.
straight away. But then and the thing about that is that then when you give someone the news, it's either just as bad, which is okay because their body is prepared for it. So it's not a
Mm,
shock to the system, or it's not nowhere near as bad. So I
mm,
think it's it's similar to what you're doing. So look, this is what's going to happen along your journey. So at this point, you're going to feel like this. They're
Yeah.
like, okay, it's not a shock to the system,
Yeah.
and they then want to run away from it. It's like, no, you told me. And it's interesting because do you find even I guess with some of your clients that you work with, when you create that pathway, do you still find clients that will when they hit the certain milestones that you tell them or give them that anticipation,
Mm.
do you still find some of those clients will run back to how they were before?
Definitely, there's definitely some, like there's definitely a handful. Um, but then there's so many that don't. Like there's so many that
Mm,
so strong in their mind and they're doing all the right things and they're like taking on all the advice and they're like the best students in the world. And,
yeah.
mm, you know, some of them will kind of work through that doubt all by themselves, but then some of them won't. So they need a little bit more reassurance. And sometimes if they do, yes, they do kind of revert back. It's like, I've just got to like pull them back. Like, it's okay, come back. So I think that really, yeah, that really is what helps them a lot to be like, okay, it
Of
is okay.
course.
I will come back.
Mm. Do you
Mm.
find there's a difference between those two?
I think I was going to say startups versus established, but that's actually not true
Okay.
because some of the startups, I think more of the startups, when they're doing it for the very first time, it's like from scratch. They're just starting this business right now. I feel like they can tend to revert back a bit more than the ones that have maybe already been doing it for a year or 2 years or 3 years.
Mm,
They just know a little bit more
mm,
to expect. It's not so big and scary because it's, you know, when you're very first starting it, it's a whole new world. So,
yeah.
I mean, I can relate because I felt like that with the service-based industry versus the e-commerce industry. But
Hmm.
yeah, just I don't know, I can't really put my finger on like I couldn't really categorize necessarily who are the ones that do revert back more. I'd have to think about it a
No,
bit.
that's fine. That's fine. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think it's it's like that question around that famous argument around is it um nurture versus nature?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like so you have. Is it the mindset? Like, because are you able to differentiate the people from a mindset point of view, or and I find that fascinating because it's like, do
Mhm.
you there's I guess I remember that I was watching. Have you ever seen the SAS on the TV, like the Who Dares Wins? Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah. I've
No?
seen Who Dares Win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, what is it
So
about then? They have to just
the SAS. So basically, it's an SAS. They have like 15 people that will come on, and SAS put them through this grueling few weeks of
yeah.
what it was like to be like an SAS.
Well,
And what is it? I don't know if it's the same what you're referring to, but
I think so.
what was really interesting about what some of them said is that people that come in, and this would be interesting because you mentioned before around knowing your why is so important, and I agree. But what they've seen in the SAS is that people that come in and go through, it's called like 2 week of how camp. They say people that come in with a knowing why they're here, what they're trying to get out of it, and so forth, last. They don't last as long as the people that come in with an open mind and just curious about it.
Oh, really? I thought you were gonna go the other way with
Yeah, I know. It's fascinating when I heard it because every like I agree. Like having I'm from both parts. I think a why is so important. Understanding like why you're wanting to do what you do, but I
Mm.
also think going in and having just that curious of mindset around. like, and just being open to
Mm.
the idea of the possibilities of what's going to happen, I think is just as important. It really is. And especially in, like you mentioned, around the day and age where things are changing so quickly. Like, so I wonder if that's based off your beliefs, how you feel and I guess see in your space how that reflects.
Mm. It's like I feel like you're almost referring to somebody who is more closed-minded than someone who's more open-minded. Like just for example, like the older generation who are maybe really stuck in their ways and don't want to embrace AI because they're
Yeah.
closed-minded on no, like that's not how it is. Whereas if you're
Mm,
minded and you embrace AI, then, the world is your oyster. There's so much potential and opportunity and, if you're not open-minded, I just don't you probably can't have as much success.
I agree. I definitely agree. What do you think about AI?
I love it and am terrified of it at the same time.
Why?
I think, like, I love what it can do, and I can see how much it can automate a business, especially if you're, uh, running a
Mm,
business, you know, on your own, and you can then have so much more time to work on your business rather than, like, being in your business so overwhelmed. So I think
yeah.
it's wonderful. It can do so many things, and it can help you understand, you know, um, your customer better. And there's so many great things about it. But it's the self-learning one that gets more and more intelligent constantly.
Mm.
And then one day it's going to be more intelligent than humans. And I don't know what.
Do you think that will happen? Do you think it'll get to that stage?
Yeah, maybe. I just,
Mm. It's yeah, I don't know. Like I agree. I think it's such a fascinating space. I think that what our superpower is as human beings is that we adapt,
yeah,
and history has shown that over centuries and centuries we adapt, and I think it's it's from a business point of view. I think I've said this on numerous occasions. I think it's essential that businesses implement AI.
I
I really do.
completely agree. I think it's like as important as a business having a website. You know, back in the day, it didn't really matter. Now it's almost a non-negotiable for any business. You have to be online. And I feel like that's AI too. Like it's going to get to a point
Mm,
non-negotiable. You can't survive
hmm.
without implementing AI into your business.
Yeah. How do you use it in your business?
I use ChatGPT a lot to help me create content and do research around to teach me like the changes that are happening in e-commerce to actually help my customers understand their customer more to give it the right prompts to get the right
Hmm.
answers in regards to um their ideal customers, for example. um there's a really Shopify, which is the e-commerce platform. They have a new AI assistant which is incredible, and it's so intelligent. It can start to make things within Shopify that it would usually require like a web developer or a coder, or it can like pull reports. It's really intelligent. It's really cool.
Hmm.
So apparently it's more advanced than ChatGPT. I don't know. I have
You're honestly, you're scratching the surface. Like you're like I sort of went down the rabbit hole not long ago. So we have a bit, our business, Think ALM, is all about helping businesses implement AI, especially
Mm.
from a sales process point of view. Um, and I started looking into it, just under a year ago. I got invited to work with a company to help, improve their AI agents to be able to communicate more
Mm.
effectively when it comes to sales.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind away. That there, and ever since then, I've gone literally down the rabbit hole. And there's so much. Like ChatGPT is great from a day to day, but
Yeah.
there are so many different other platforms that you can plug into your business to automate it from start to finish.
Mm.
And I find, and I'd love to hear your insight. A lot of businesses struggle with the lead gen sales process,
Yeah.
and there's so much that AI can do with that space that can automate it and also help improve the how quick you get feedback from sales calls as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I haven't even, like you said, I haven't even scratched the surface. Like I'm still exploring it, and I've heard, all the things that it can do in regards to lead gen and,
That's
automating the
crazy, man.
whole process. And I've got a friend of mine who's oh, he he's kind of an AI, you know, tech head, whatever you
Yeah.
whatever you like to call yourselves.
Yeah.
um, Created the outbound sales call AI
Yeah, 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 yeah.
agent,
Yeah.
and that that blew my mind because, and this was probably
Mm,
a year ago that he introduced me to that, and we were having a proper conversation about what I'd like to order, and the only way I could
yeah.
tell it was AI was the pauses.
Yeah. Now, like what's fascinating about how quick it grows is like you look at that where it was probably 2 months ago in terms of the pauses,
Mm.
it's now at a point where it starts to use filler words during the conversation. So you can't tell. The only thing it can't do yet is I think it can't jump on a call like this, connect and close deals. It
Yeah.
will get to that point, but it's interesting, like, because you mentioned before how e-commerce is changing so rapidly. How
Mm.
have you seen AI have an impact in your industry?
I think it's like the automation of everything, and like having it all work together. There's like the chat agents on the actual website themselves to understand the customer
Yeah.
behavior, to do certain prompts when they do certain
Mm,
on the website.
hmm.
Like that just puts you so far in front of anyone else, because you're doing this, you're giving them the right message at the right time on another level.
Mm, mm,
And it's like
yeah.
looking at the customer behavior to know what they need to get a conversion. So that's,
Hmm.
a 1% increase in conversion on an e-commerce store could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars extra per year.
Really?
Yeah, like depending on the size
Wow.
of the business, but yeah, even just that small increment of a increase in conversion by AI understanding what the customer's doing and then doing a prompt to get them to convert, it
Yeah.
it can make so much more money for like
That's
a more
fascinating. That is.
bigger business. Yeah. Um, yeah, and like I said before, I haven't even scratched the surface with AI. So I've got so much
Mm.
to learn in that space still, especially.
Honestly, like you'd be blown away. Like it's
Yeah.
so to give you an example, like so my background's been in sales for close to 15 years,
Yeah.
and a lot of it's been cold calling,
Yeah.
and so I understand I understand how to communicate, how to deliver a pitch, how to be able to pick up indicators to understand the person I'm speaking to, etc., etc. But what's really interesting is that I think this day and age now, and I'll be keen to hear your insight. Like sales has evolved significantly, right?
Yeah.
Because you think about, like, we're talking about how easy it is to get information.
Mm,
Internet, yes. ChatGPT, you can put anything in and get the information that
mm,
you need as a buyer.
yeah.
So what I've seen, especially recently, is most customers don't want to be sold to,
Oh,
or
yes.
don't want, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
They don't want like the basic sales techniques, because they will tell you, I know this, I know that you can't use that
Yeah.
sales technique on me, and this, that, the other. So I think AI will pass a lot of salespeople that are average and that just rely on those basic sales techniques, and then it will make the better salespeople develop their skills more to be able to build trust and build connections with customers. Because
Mm.
and I wonder if you've noticed the same in your industry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting that you say that because I was only just speaking to somebody 2 hours ago saying people don't like to be sold to. And then we had a whole conversation around that exact topic, and we're really
Yeah,
sensitive to being sold to because there's so much noise and, everybody is
yeah,
trying to get a sale and, it's noisy. There's a lot of it. It feels like
yes,
we're bombarded by it. So you have to start to build the trust. Like you said, you have to build a belief, like somebody has to believe in what you're doing, build a community, build a brand. It's about actually connecting
mm,
people and giving them,
mm-hmm,
educating them and giving them a solution to a problem and actually helping them and not selling to
yeah,
them. So
yeah.
definitely.
Which it
And
it
yeah.
is sales, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Like, it's interesting that you're seeing it from your side, and it's like, I think that, because at the end of the day, if you can prove your way of how you communicate, you can still sell. It's
Mm.
it's just how it's done, and I think it's about that synergy. About, right, let's work together. And I think, because you mentioned it before around businesses that you work with that are always learning, always in grow. I think it's the same, even more so now. I think from a
Mm.
communication point of view, I think it's vitally important that people continue to do personal development to be able to improve.
Yeah.
And I think as you do that, as AI is evolving, you're evolving with it
Mhm.
to be able to take advantage of it and get success.
And you can get better feedback too, I would say, like, if AI is helping
Mm.
sales process and you're actually human to human, AI can help even to get you, I guess, to reflect on what you could have done better or how you could have connected
Oh,
better.
it's funny you say that. Like, we implemented one into our team about 6 months ago. So on the Zoom call, it will
Mm,
come in like a note taker,
yeah.
but it's a sales call analyzer. And at the
Ah.
end of the call, yeah, it will. So we put a scorecard in it, and it then will break you down. So out of the 5 zones, so how was rapport, how was your objection handling, and et cetera, et cetera. And then at the bottom, it will give you feedback around where to improve. And what I couldn't believe about it was, I was away at the time, and I was monitoring my guys' performance.
Mm,
And instead of having to listen to the call for 40 minutes for an hour, I would literally just go to the notes, read the notes, and look at the feedback. And I'd say to them, I don't need to give you any feedback. That's the feedback. Just
yeah.
follow that. That's it. And it was unbelievable. Like, straight away. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty accurate too, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, and that's what I was saying to, like, the ChatGPT is great because people are so, there's so many people that are far ahead that are basically, like you mentioned, it's like you saw a problem and you've put a solution together. People
Yeah.
have done that with AI, and it's like, well, okay, I
Mhm.
don't need to hire the people. I can just implement that, and that allow me to get to the next step of my growth.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no
So
human error.
yeah, and that's the fascinating stage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
But I
what's
think
on that? Sorry, go.
I was just going to say, I think humans will always want human connection at the end of the day. So there's always going to be a place for human to human
Mm,
connection because we wouldn't
yes,
ever be able to replace that with any sort of AI. So that's comforting.
100%. It is, and I think that's something that we need to remember, because if we focus on that, we're not going to get distracted by
Mm.
AI. We're gonna use it as a resource to
Yeah.
level up in many different ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
I
think that's the key thing.
yeah.
So on that note, talk to me about like what's the, because there's three questions that we're going to get into shortly around that I ask every single person that comes onto the podcast. But
Yeah.
before I do, Philippa, I want to ask you like what's the what does the next 6 to 12 months look like for Pace e-commerce? What's some of the goals that you have?
I actually really want to stay as like doing most of the mentoring. Like I want it to be me. I want to be face to face with my clients and be involved. And I actually don't have like big global domination dreams when it comes to pace because I don't want to lose the like personal touch. Um,
Hmm.
However, when I start my next e-commerce business, then we're going to go for global domination.
Nice.
But yeah, I want to help more. Oh, hello, kidding. Um, help more e-commerce owners with my mentoring program. Um, do those couple of China trips twice a year because
Okay.
I love that. I don't know if you've ever seen or
Never
heard of
been to China.
Fair,
What is say that again?
the Canton Fair in China. It's a
No.
it's the biggest product sourcing event. So you've got 70,000 manufacturers go to this fair. It's been running for 136 years and it is manufacturers from every single industry and it's your first time is so overwhelming.
I imagine.
So yeah, I'm want to take 6 to 10 people to China for each trip, have a group of e-commerce clients that I'm mentoring and helping and guiding and giving
Hmm.
them the guidance and that roadmap that I've always wanted and never had. And then my
Wicked.
e-com store as well.
Mm. Have you started the e-com store?
Yes, I have.
Can
But
you tell us a bit about it?
it's still like in the I guess the starting stages and
Okay.
we actually have a podcast where we're like taking everybody on the journey with us
Cool.
restarting it,
Cool.
but we haven't announced the brand.
Okay. Okay. All right.
We have
That's
had
fine.
we're just like working on the final stages of our branding, um,
Yeah.
and then we'll announce it then. So
Sick.
yes, I
Cool. Cool. So where
can't
can they
tell
find you?
you yet.
No, that's fair enough. We can't get the, I guess the exclusive.
I'd have to.
Where, so where, where could they find you? So where could they look out for this announcement that's coming out? Where would that be published?
So on Instagram would be the sort of the main place. So Pace e-commerce,
Okay.
and then everything sort of will be announced on there. Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah,
Exciting.
really exciting. I'm really sort of, since I've got this really clear direction what I'm doing, I've got some really amazing clients that are, like I was saying, they're just like the best students ever.
Mm.
It
Mm-hmm.
just it's so rewarding and it's so fulfilling. So I feel really good now that I know what I'm doing,
Mm.
helping people, and I'm seeing that when I'm helping them, they're actually getting results from it. So there's also that's really affirming too. That's been good
Of
for my
course.
confidence.
Yeah, you can see that you love that. And I think that
Yeah.
passion there is yeah, why you do what you do. I think that's awesome to hear.
Mhm. Yeah.
The three questions. Let's go into the three questions
Okay,
because
go,
these
go,
are
go.
what makes the
Suspense is
podcast.
killing me.
So the first one, Philippa, is what does or is success to you?
I love this question because I can only imagine the variety of answers that you would get for this.
Mm,
And, like you would think that it's like success, like as in success is money or a business goal but for me, it's actually peace
okay.
and like success for me is is more of a feeling than a thing. It's like peace,
Mm,
content. It's just like having good relationships, enjoying my kids and feeling happy. I think it's more of a feeling than anything else. Success
I like that.
is a feeling for me, yeah. I couldn't tell you, like, there's
Nice.
not a money goal or a necessarily a business goal because it's the feeling of that.
Mm, that's cool. I like that. And so, with that in mind, what advice would you give an 18-year-old Philippa of how to view success based off how you view it now?
That's a really good question. Um, I'm gonna be thinking about this more after we get off the podcast too, because that's, like, really
Good.
thought-provoking. I don't
Good, because I never got to that moment through this podcast with you where I've made you stop and think. So that's really.
maybe I need to do that more often.
I'm happy. I'm happy. That's a win. So what would you? Yeah, what would you say? What's some of the things that are coming to your mind based off how you were as an 18-year-old?
I mean, this is not the answer to the question, but some things that I would say to that version of me is like just surround yourself with the right people and just don't allow, if a relationship doesn't feel good, whether it be business or personal, don't think that you have to keep it. Like,
Mm,
that's not answering your question, I know, but I
that's
think
okay. You can
you'll
take it
come to,
however you want.
yeah. So I think I would just say, like, listen to yourself. And
Mm.
actually, that's another thing, actually, you've just made me think of that is take some time to sit in silence, to actually
Oh, that
feel,
yeah,
feel what,
it's a good one. That.
yeah. And then you'll
Do
feel
you
what,
know why? Because sorry, I keep cutting you off because I get really excited about
I
what you're
know, I'm the
saying.
same. Yeah.
Go,
It's like goes
go
both
on.
ways.
So you're saying sit in silence to feel.
Mm. Just to be able to
I
listen
think
to
it's
what you want.
we're doing it again. We're doing it again.
Sorry.
What,
You go. I'll shut up.
oh, no, 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 no. That's not fair. It should be the other way around. But it's. Do you know why you're so right? Is because it makes you that time where you spend on your own allows you to really understand who you are. And I think
Oh,
it's the getting
yes.
rid of the distraction.
Yes. Yes. That's like been such a big realization for me in my 30s is silence and doing nothing is good. It is so good because you can't actually listen to you and your intuition and your gut if you have noise, if you're busy constantly. Like, yes, it's uncomfortable to sit and do nothing if you've never had to do it before, but it's the best thing that you could do for yourself.
I love that. I love that. And last but not least, Philippa, is success simple?
I want to say yes. I want to say yes because I want to come back to like the sitting in silence and listening to yourself. Because if you do that, then, and you're actually listening to your inner voice, then you know what you need to do and you know that it's simple.
Mm, mm. I like that. Yeah, yeah. That works. That works.
Yeah, but you can't get.
Go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, you just can't get to that knowing that success is simple until you go through all the things and you go through all the challenges and you live a life. Like 18-year-old, either, like probably neither of us was ever going to know that answer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. And it's going to evolve as well, isn't it? Yeah. If you
Yeah.
think about the next 5 years and you get asked the same question, it's like, well, what does success mean then? And that's why I love it. It's because there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's how you see it for yourself. And I think that's the key. Like that is the key. And I think that's something that as a lot of kids, like you've got kids, like I've got a little baby girl and older kids in the house, that I think understanding that success is defined by you, not anyone else. And realizing that so that you feel the confidence to be able to go and chase what that means to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And being confident in what you know is success to you and not allowing the outside world and opinions and people telling you what to do, because what I've found is that everybody wants to give you advice
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
and tell you what you shouldn't be doing. And you have to be so confident within yourself
Mm,
that you can trust yourself to know.
mm. Yeah. Wicked. Like Philippa, it's that I couldn't summarize it any better. I also wanted to explore basically from our point of view. I mentioned that we do have another business that we we use. I use this platform for two reasons. One, to connect with entrepreneurs and give them the platform to be able to share the story the way that you have done so eloquently today. The other side is also looking at potential clients or no, potential people that we want to partner up from and value and what they believe and so forth. And you're definitely someone that I'd love to invite to have an offline conversation to potentially see how we can help you on your journey and implement some sort of AI to help continue you helping people in your lane, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm always looking to connect with people like you who are, have more knowledge than me in certain areas. And I feel like,
Uh,
you could add a lot of value even for my clients. And what does e-commerce and AI look like? Like what's the
yeah, that'd be so interesting. That
Yeah.
I'd love that. I really would. Like, I'd love to arrange a time offline so that we can have more of a deep dive.
Yeah.
You met Mario as well. Mario's my
He's
business
great.
partner.
Yeah. He's
Oh, it's so
lovely.
cool. Do you know
Yeah.
why he doesn't come onto the podcast? We started a few and he just used to sit there and ask like one or two questions. So he just like, do you know what? You do the intro and I'll do the podcast. So
I love it.
we found our lanes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And now you stay in your lanes.
Yeah, it works well. It does work really well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
But tell me, what's your like? I know I can imagine you're hectic, and what I've got there. What's your diary looking like over the next week? Have you got any idea of
Um,
what it looks like?
this week's really busy, but next week I have a bit more time. I'm really good at overcommitting, so I'm going to be true to
Do
my
something.
I'm gonna listen to
I'm the
my
same. I have Mario that books people into my calendar, and
yeah.
it's chockers. Can you do? I tell you what. Can you do something on next Monday?
Yeah, I can actually.
Do you want to do? Can we
Think.
do the same time? And then I'll get Mario on the call with us as well.
Yeah, actually. Um, yeah, I should be able to. So that's the
Yeah,
15th, right? Yeah,
it is.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm just calculating because my daughter's week on, week off with her dad. So I'm just
Ah,
calculating like I think she's home that oh no. It's all right. She goes to her dad. She goes to school. Yep, no, it's all good.
cool. No, it's only because on Tuesday, my wife comes home with my little girl from being in Dubai, and then
Oh,
from
really?
Tuesday on, yeah.
Oh,
So
you are like
I've got.
getting all those hugs.
No, honestly, I'm like it's been 2 weeks, and I'm itching. Like, I can't like
Mm.
it's. I've just literally fully dived into my work, so I don't have at that time to sit on my own too much. You know what
Nice
I mean?
happens for you.
Yeah, which is ironic, isn't it? As we're talking about it, but yeah. So Monday would work really well for me if that works well for you.
Yep. Yep. Let's do that. So 7:30,
Great.
the three of us,
Yeah.
15th.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah.
And honestly, like it's been an absolute pleasure. Like I really appreciate you spending the time. I think yeah, a lot of the things that you've spoken about can really help people step into that space and start businesses. And I guess for anyone that's wanting to step into e-commerce and how to do that, where would they find you? Is it on Instagram, Pace e-commerce? Is that right?
I think that's, yeah, Pace e-commerce, Pace underscore e-commerce on Instagram's probably
Cool.
the best place for
Wicked.
find all the things.
And yeah, make sure you watch out for the latest news on the next venture.
Yes. Watch this space.
Wicked. Well, like I said, really appreciate your time. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to speaking with you next week.
Yeah, it's been so good, Charlie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me and having me on. And it's just been
You're
a really
welcome.
good conversation. Like, I really have loved chatting to you.
Great. Well, like I said, appreciate it. I think you've been awesome. Enjoy the rest of your evening with your cats, and I'll speak to you next
Yeah, you
week.
too. Before you go, can I just get a photo so I can post it?
Of course, yeah. I can send you some stuff through as well. I can.
Like,
Do you want me to send you? Yeah, take the photo.
oh yeah, I was just
You
gonna
done
say,
it?
just like a, like an unofficial sort of. Do you wanna pose? Yeah.
No, no, that'll do.
That's
I'll send you because it chops it up, so I'll have like stuff that you can use for your
oh,
social media and so
awesome.
forth as well. Yeah, yeah. So
Because you use AI
I'll
to do
send.
this, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
yeah. Yeah, honestly, like you'll find out in terms of my tech skills, I've got next to nothing, and I just literally plug in as much AI as I can to like this platform does it all for me. So literally after we're done, it's
Oh,
going to chop it
really?
up, and I'll have six 30 to 50 seconds of breaking up like certain things. There'll be a few
Yeah,
like
wow.
2 to 5 minute ones. Honestly, it does everything. So that's what
That's
I'm saying. Like in terms of what you're and you're because you do podcasts as well, didn't you?
yeah, we do them like in a studio kind of setting with lighting and
Oh, sick.
sound and things like that. So I'm
That's
actually
cool.
yeah, I'm actually in a partnership with a girl who with the e-commerce brand, and she's a social media. She's got a social media business, so she's really good with like the creation and the content, and she just tells me where to be
Wicked.
at what time and what we're talking about, and I'm like, okay, I'm here.
Oh well, I am. My goal is hope to get to that stage one day where it's a full set out and we do it like that. So I love that. I loved hearing that.
Yeah. It's actually like in a section of her house that she's like created into a studio. So
Oh, cool.
it's like amateur, but looks amazing.
Mm, that's sick.
Yeah, so
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Well,
right. Thank you
I
so much.
lovely meeting you.
You
Enjoy the
too.
rest of your evening, and
You
I'll
too.
speak to you next week.
Yeah.
Take
See you
care.
next week. Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.